we were having a meeting I was having a meeting as a member of Parliament Nyeri with 150 of my grassroots mobilizers. We were having a conversation around BBI. There's been this conversation that BBI is facing resistance in Mount Kenya region. And what we actually understand is that every new idea, anything that is for change, tends to face resistance for as long as it's not understood. And one of the things that I have tried to do, especially for Nyeri town, is to make sure I keep explaining what BBI has in store for us as people of Mount Kenya and for us as people of Nyeri town. So I have had a lot of my colleagues, some of my colleagues led by Senator from Muranga, suggesting that the president needs to come and sell BBI in Mount Kenya himself. And I strongly disagree with that, because all of us were elected in respective constituencies or respective counties. And there's what we did to get elected. And none of us started as a favorite, because when you're outside, you're actually facing resistance yourself. What I want to challenge my colleagues is to do exactly what I am doing. Go to your grassroots, go to your constituency, go to your ward if you're an MCA, go to your county if you're a senator or a women rep, and make it a stronghold. If you believe in BBI and you are from Mount Kenya, and we are many of us, you remember in Thika we were 41 of us, and we are actually very many. Out of the 91 members of Senate and MPs from Mount Kenya, only 15 are against BBI. And I'm challenging all my colleagues. Go to your grassroots and work on your grassroots. Mobilize your grassroots the same way you mobilize for yourself, for your politics. Because if you believe BBI is good for our region, then convince your people and then build up from around your grassroots. We are politicians, we know how we look for votes, and we are able to look for votes for ourselves. I do not understand why we are not able to look for votes for something we believe is good for our region. So I have done my part and I'm continuing to do my part. My goal is to make Nyeri town constituency a BBI stronghold. We are targeting 80 to 85% voter support for BBI. I want to use the same numbers that Kangata was using and assume that we are now at 20%. So we are looking for 60%. We have mobilized, we have sent our people to the ground. We are teaching. Over the next 3 weeks, I'm going to have 50 forums, which each of them is a town hall with 50 people. So within the next 3 weeks, I expect to have spoken to 2,500 people. And these are not people who I'm speaking to in terms of just supporting BBI. These are people who I'm speaking to so they can speak to the village around which they come from and explain to the people in the villages why BBI is good for us. I suspect that within the 3 weeks to 4 weeks of this process that I have begun, we are going to have turned Nyeri around to the point where we have the 70% or 80% of Nyeri voters supporting BBI because they understand. BBI is not about supporting it based on being cajoled or being blackmailed or being twisted. BBI, for those of us who have read and understood the document, is actually very, very, very good for our region as Mount Kenya. All we need to do is explain that to the people who elected us to go into office. If we explain it to them in a way that they'll understand, if we explain it to them in the same way we explained to them to support us and vote for us in 2017, I suspect that we are going to have a much easier way in terms of turning around the ground. This issue of people saying Mount Kenya is difficult with BBI is because the members of parliament and the political leadership of the region has refused to actually go to the ground and do the work that is required to be done to turn the ground in support of BBI. The areas where BBI is strong is because the politicians there have gone and explained it. This region of ours, our politicians are still, some of our politicians, not all of them, some of our politicians are still dilly-dallying, waiting, I don't know what they're waiting for, and I am urging all of them to do what we are doing here in Nyeri town. Go to the ground, organize your troops, send them out, and you will see how quickly we are going to turn around BBI in this region.
Yes.
I really don't think, I think we have a lot of leaders who are looking for every reason that they can get to not go to the ground and do the hard work of explaining to Kenyans about BBI. Because let's be honest, BBI is changing many things. And naturally, human beings hate change. And until you actually sit down somebody and explain to them what this document is about, you're going to face resistance. So what I think is happening is that we have a lot of people who would rather not go and do the hard work and who are going to keep grasping at any reason why BBI is struggling. I think IEBC is a totally different ballgame. I suspect that they're not going to be able to get away with not getting us 1 million signatures out of the 4 million they were given. For sure, we're going to get the 1 million signatures. I think those of us who are not employed by IEBC, who are not part of the vetting process, should be machinani speaking to people about BBI and getting them to understand what BBI has in store for us or what the benefits that it has for us. Let's stop looking outside the process for excuses not to talk to people about BBI. Let's go and talk to people about BBI. The documents have been made available. If they're not made available, like for example, we've been told, I mean, I keep saying, when I was running for Member of Parliament, I resourced myself, went out and spoke to people so that they could elect me. If I believe strongly that BBI is good for our region, what am I waiting for? I just need to go and do the same thing, because if it is good for us, for example, we are getting additional members of Parliament. I hear people are struggling with that and saying, oh, you know, you're increasing the wage bill by increasing members of Parliament. I would like to hear a constituency that doesn't want an increment. Here in Nyeri, we are complaining we did not get a constituency, an extra constituency. So people are arguing that we have too many constituencies, but nobody wants to give up theirs. So this is a conversation. We understand at the grassroots level that this document is good for us. As a region, we get better representation in Parliament. As a region, we get more money coming to our region through the 35%. As a region, we get protection in terms of ensuring that we have our development agenda doesn't depend on who is in power. As a region, we get an opportunity to be part of the national leadership because of the expansion of the national leadership at the center of government. So I don't understand why anybody from this region would actually have a problem with BBI. It is primarily because nobody has gone out to explain the benefits we have, and that is what I'm urging all my colleagues. We are politicians. Our work is to go and talk to people about policies and issues and get them to support them. The fact that we are not getting the support we expect is our fault. We are the ones who haven't gone to do the work. So I want to urge all my colleagues, let's go and do the work. Let's go to Mashinani. You do not need to be supported to go to your village, to go to your strongholds, to go to your grassroots mobilizers and explain to them about BBI and send them out to explain to everybody else. You got the same thing with a document like this one.
Yes.
I think if you support BBI, you should be out there speaking about BBI. It doesn't matter who you are. I don't know why anybody would be expecting that some people are going to wait for other people to start supporting BBI so that the process begins. If you support BBI, step out and go and sell it. Don't, again, that's an excuse. When I hear people saying that, oh, you know, maybe the people who are selling it are not popular, I'm asking, where are the popular people? Why aren't they selling it? What are they waiting for? Go out and sell it. Let the people meet at the ground. Let the popular people sell BBI together with the unpopular one, if there's anybody like that, and let the people decide. Because here we're not competing on popularity. Here we're competing to actually get the document passed. So if you think you're popular and you want to support BBI, don't look for excuses. Just go and support it.
Kwani vipi leo? Hey, kuna nini hapa? Mbona kila meza ni said pineapple?
Unashangaa hiyo? Sio sedi tu, ipo na setup cocktail. Hata pisikali wanaikubali.
Setup mbili tafadhali.
Sedi pineapple flavored gin imetengenezwa kwa teknolojia ya kipekee, ikichujwa mara 3 ili kuifanya kuwa laini uinywapo. Inabamba zaidi unapoitumia kutengeneza cocktail ili kupata ladha nzuri zaidi. Ujazo gani? Ni uamuzi wako. Iwe mils 200, 250 au 750. Lakini ladha ni ile. Sahau kuhusu hangover. Hata pisikali wanaikubali. Hayuzwi kwa wenye umri chini ya miaka 18. Kunywa kistaarabu.